waste is a better impact. I'm Jacob. Composting is so much more than food waste. It's a way to, it does mitigate the trash that you put out, but there are so many other things that aren't just food waste that you can compost. The composting is something that is so important, and it's really gonna save us just a ton of pollution, that just common things that you may throw away that that may end up in a landfill can still be composted. So give things back to the earth instead of giving them to the landfill. We're going to talk about 7 common things, or 7 maybe things you don't realize are compostable. So the first thing that we compost that isn't food waste is our hair. It may sound gross, and it's kind of weird, but hair is compostable. I just shaved my head, so that's one thing that we do. One, it saves money, it saves me time. I do it real quick. I've gotten used to it. But I compost my hair that I shave off. And you may have hair in your living space, and you may just throw it into the garbage. And maybe you pull your hair out of your hairbrush and you just throw it into the garbage. That can be composted. I wouldn't put chemically treated hair, permed hair, dyed hair, but most people can compost their hair that is usually thrown out, as well as pet hair and pet fur. Hair, fur, it can all be composted. So the next thing that we compost that isn't, food waste, still carries food. It's a pizza box. If you eat a reasonable amount of pizza, it should be safe to put your pizza boxes into your compost. Pizza once every couple of weeks isn't bad for you. Pizza box every couple of weeks, even if it's a little greasy, is not bad for your compost. It's still cardboard. Most of it can still be broken down and eaten up by either the worms or whatever. So every once in a while we get a pizza box, and we shred it up a little bit and put it in our compost. It's something that a lot of people order pizza. So think of all the waste, all the space that a stack of pizza boxes could take up in a landfill. Pizza's great. I love pizza. Yeah, worms love pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? Dust that you sweep up, the dust that you vacuum up, all that can be composted, because dust is kind of gross, but it's dead skin cells, and a lot of hair that you pick up. We shed a lot as humans, and animals too. So don't just toss those sweepings out. You can put those right in the compost. It's totally safe. It's not gross or anything. I could argue that it's more gross to keep all that stuff in a plastic bag forever in a landfill. Toss that in the compost. Why not? Another thing that we compost is our nails. So any fingernail clippings, toenail clippings, those can be composted too. It's a little strange. Remember not to put nail polish into your compost. It's made of plastic and chemicals. You gotta clip those nails. You don't want to end up like the lady with the longest nails in the world. She actually clipped them. It's like, yeah, they're much shorter and they're still like 5 inches long. Compost those nails. Super long nails, short nails. No nail polish though. If you're at a restaurant, if they give you a napkin, take that home. So there are a lot of things that you get out in public. A lot of those things can be composted. So a used napkin that you may have at the restaurant, or maybe a tissue you had, you can kind of ball that up, take it home. Even a straw wrapper that's made of paper, that can be composted. So if you wash your hands at the public bathroom, you get a paper towel, dry your hands off, take that home. Kind of keep your eye out. There are things out in public that can be composted. The next thing that you can compost that isn't food waste is plant clippings. So if you have houseplants, I know there was like a big houseplant boom a couple years ago. We got a lot of houseplants, but you may trim your houseplants, and those clippings, those can be composted. So, and think about how this is kind of a cyclical, kind of a cycle of life. You can use your houseplants clippings to make your own compost, which in turn you could use to fertilize or soil your houseplants. That is like something that makes your houseplant more connected to you. It makes it much more personal. So your waste also goes into what is good for your plants. We don't actually have a lawn, but if you have a lawn, there's a lot of things that plant clippings, grass clippings, maybe some dried leaves that you rake up. Think about how common it is for your neighbor to bag up their leaves and their grass in a plastic bag and set it out on the side of the road for the trash man to come pick up. And then it sits in the landfill, taking up space. Those were 7 things that we compost that aren't food waste. I hope that you can take one of these things and keep these in mind. Maybe next time you're out with friends, take that napkin home, compost it. I think that's it. See you next time.